The aforementioned Mike Lawler is here, the New York Republican who's telling some of his colleagues, very few of them right now, 3 to date, who are looking at replacing Speaker Mike Johnson. Congressman, great to have you. You have said a number of times, sir, that this move, to get rid of this speaker will do more harm than good. You had said back in October the House was thrown into chaos by Matt Gaetz and 7 useful idiots that teamed up within the Republican conference. And that was something that bothered you, that you don't want to repeat that. But it seems to be on again. Are you worried?
Look, this is the continuation of the clown show. When you look at the challenges facing our country, voters elected a House Republican majority to govern, to serve as a check and balance on the Biden administration. 2 of my bills, the SHIP Act and the Iran-China Energy Sanctions Act, are in today's package of bills to target Iranian petroleum, which is funding their terrorism. This is taking on the Biden administration. This is holding them accountable. Since Joe Biden took office, $88 billion in increased Iranian oil sales. What is happening within our conference is undermining our ability to govern and hold this administration accountable. Speaker Johnson, like Speaker McCarthy before him, is doing the right thing by putting critical legislation on the floor in favor of the American people and in favor of America's role in the world. We are the leader of the free world. We cannot cease to be that shining city on a hill. And when you see what is happening with Russia, China, and Iran, and their unholy alliance that seeks to undermine and destabilize the free world, I'm frankly flabbergasted by some of my colleagues who have bought into the nonsense coming out of Russia and elsewhere, as opposed to standing by President Reagan's mantra of peace through strength. Speaker Johnson deserves the support not only of the Republican conference, but of the institution. He is doing what is right at the right moment for the right reasons, knowing full well it may cost him his job. But frankly, I think the institution, Republicans and Democrats, need to say we're not going to participate in this. We're not going to allow Marjorie Taylor Greene or Matt Gaetz or Paul Gosar or anyone else to throw this House into chaos again.
Maybe it's just me. You're much closer to this fire than I'll ever be. That's probably a good thing. But let me get your take on why the Speaker seems to have changed its tone when it came to this, that hell or high water, he's going to go through with this and get the aid where it has to go, and if it's going to risk his speakership, he'll risk it. What got his moxie up?
Well, listen, he knew all along that we needed to get aid to our allies, and obviously in the aftermath of the October 7th terrorist attack against Israel, in which, by the way, Hamas is funded 93% by Iran, and the Iranian attacks of last week, and obviously the continued march towards Kiev by Vladimir Putin, our allies need us in this moment. This is a moment for leadership. This is a moment to be a Winston Churchill, not a Neville Chamberlain. We are in the most precarious place since World War II. And to my colleagues that are upset about the border, I share your anger at the fact that the Biden administration has created an absolute calamity at our border. But recognize that your inability to work as a team, your inability to pass rules, your inability to allow the Speaker to negotiate is what has weakened his hand to try and get border provisions in this bill. And that is the frustration that I have. I voted for a CR that had H.R. 2 in September. Many of the people complaining today, calling for Speaker Johnson's removal, are the same people that voted against a CR that had border provisions, that would have put the Biden administration and Chuck Schumer on the defensive. So they have nobody to blame but themselves for their failure to work as a collective and recognize that, there's going to be compromises. Apparently, some of them don't understand marriage, because any of us who have been married understand you're never going to get your way 100% of the time, and you have to find compromises along the way.
Well, I've been married for 40 years, and I've just learned the thing is to always say, you're right, and I'm wrong. But leaving that aside, Congressman, I'm curious what you make of the fact that there might be more than 3 of your Republican colleagues who feel that the Speaker should go. And I only ask because your name comes up as someone they would consider, even that crowd. What do you make of that?
I don't think some of them would ever consider me in that role. But look,
but it's a jump ball at that point, right? I mean, everyone might as well dive into the pool.
Yeah, here's what they have to understand. I mean, there's never going to be a Democratic speaker in this House Republican majority. But in order to get consensus, you may have a situation where Democrats vote for a Republican speaker to avoid, somebody on the far right who refuses to cooperate.
Well, you know what? Maybe I was wrong. Maybe they were the ones that were mentioning your name. Bottom line, would you consider it?
Look, I want Mike Johnson to be Speaker. Okay. He's doing a phenomenal job. He is leading this conference. He is leading this country. And that is the objective here. Like Speaker McCarthy before him, he got booted for doing the right thing. We can't allow that to happen a second time. The institution needs to put what is right above all other considerations, including political considerations here. And for my Republican colleagues, I'll just say this. The issues are on our side. Whether you talk about affordability, whether you talk about the border crisis, whether you talk about public safety, crime in cities like New York, or you're talking about the disastrous foreign policy of Joe Biden. But if we continue to show we are incapable of governing, then the American people are not going to give us another chance in November. So to all of my colleagues, cut your crybaby nonsense out, focus on the task at hand, work as a team, and you know what? You may just get things that you want accomplished.
All right. The crybabies, you might have just lost their votes right there, but we'll watch it. No, I'm kidding here, but we'll watch it very closely. Congressman Lawler, great seeing you again.
Thanks, Neil.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.